like more handheld PCs. I think handheld
Oh, this
PCs
is interesting.
are awesome.
There's apparently a new there's leaked pricing for the ROG Ally. Okay, I'm sorry. I'm totally changing gears here real quick, Dan. I'm sorry. I will get to that. I'll get to that really quick. Another leak. The ROG Ally will apparently start at $600 with AMD Z1 and 256 gig S.
Okay. Controversial opinion. Now that we have admitted that Sony and Nintendo won the console wars against Xbox, controversial opinion time. It should be illegal to have controllers or any kind of fucking handheld that is not universal. I said it. I don't care if we go with Nintendo going forward. I don't care if we go with PlayStation going forward. It has to be universal. If it's not, executives will be shot. I am against capital punishment except for the executives that continue having a non-universal controller. I don't give a fuck what it is. Maybe, fuck it, let's use the Xbox one. But going forward, no more new controllers. No more new, is it an X? And then the worst part about it is they use like X's. They all have an X, but it's in a different fucking location. Come on, man. Come on. Why are you doing that? And then Nintendo's Japanese, so they have to do it in the opposite direction where like normally the button for exit is the button that you accept, and the button for accepting is the button that you use to exit. So like obviously there's that fucked up part of this too. It's just like, it's very frustrating. Okay? Except Sony is also Japanese and they don't do that shit, but unless it's a Japanese game. It used to be reversed on PlayStation in the PS1 era. Do you mean no new button layouts or no new grips? No. Universal control layouts. Universal control layouts. If you try to get outside, we decide as a society on... I have 3 in front of me right now. I have the PlayStation. Triangle, square, X, and circle, right? As you can see. I have the Xbox controller in front of me. Y, X. Notice the X is on a different location on the Xbox controller, by the way. Are you fucking joking? A and B. On the Switch, again, X, Y, B, and A. There's an X in every single one of them. I mean, this is the most frustrating one. This is the most frustrating one. They use the same fucking letters. What are you doing? Why are you doing this? Why? I don't care. I don't care if Nintendo did it first. I don't care. We decide. We decide on one and we go with it forever. I'm sick and tired of playing QTE on my Steam Deck and I don't know where the buttons are, so I have to look down at it. And when it's dark, okay, and when it's dark at night because I'm playing with the Steam Deck in my bed, I can't see the buttons. So I can't play any of the QTE games. It's very fucked up. Hasan, you're doing 2009 style angry video game content right now. I don't care. It's correct. It's correct. We don't need more. We don't need more fucking dumbass layouts, man. We don't need more layouts.
If that's true, then that's just $70 higher than the same storage size Steam Deck.
So aggressive.
For how much more performance you're getting, and more importantly, for how quiet it is, that is awesome. Like, awesome.
Wait, how much more performance are you getting?
A perfect experience, to be very, very, very clear here.
What do you say the Steam Deck is, though?
No, well, no, but I'm talking about the Ally in a different way.
I'm just clarifying for people.
Sure. Game compatibility is much better, but the experience of playing those compatible games, well, there's some hurdles to overcome still. Asus has a lot of work to do on the software.
Interesting.
And so does Microsoft. Windows...
Is that how you say Asus? Asus? What the fuck?
...is not optimized for these handheld consoles. And like, I have this... Okay, here, actually. I recorded this video on my phone, conveniently. I was trying to do something basic. What the heck was I trying to do? I'm honestly having a hard time remembering. But I was... Oh, yeah, right, I remember. I was trying to go into the stupid AMD control panel, and I was trying to alter a setting for the GPU driver. And I had a game running. I was playing Stray. I finally played Stray. I had a game running, and I couldn't get it open. It just kept being Windows about it. And yeah, I can't find it right now. But I kept swiping up, and then that brings up the little bar, and then I'd swipe up again, and then I would click the Windows icon, and then it would go away, and I'd be okay. So I'd swipe up twice again, and then I'd go into the system tray, and then I'd click the AMD control panel, and then the stupid thing would go away. And I'm like, the prototype inside. I'm not even in exclusive full screen mode right now. Like, the Steam Deck is a console, and that's its strength.
Yes.
Right now, the Ally is a computer with a controller.
Yes. And a computer with a controller is not... Dude, look, I love my PC. I was a PC boy originally, and then I switched over to like an iPhone and Mac products, and I was a console gamer for a very long time. And one of the things that was very frustrating is, like, you can't really do anything on a Mac. You can do everything on a PC. Mac, on the other hand, the operating system is like, the software is locking you. It's user intuitive, but it fucking locks you into this weird, like, situation where you just can't do anything. It's like we're sending FBI agents to your house because you tried to fucking break it. It's a walled garden, right? And it's very frustrating. So I understand why you would want that level of freedom. But when it comes down to it, for a handheld console, I don't want that level of freedom. I want a fucking handheld console. You know what I mean? So I don't know if I like the like handheld PC concept as much as I like the Steam Deck that is a console, and it feels like a console. There's actually a PC part of it. You can literally go into the operating software. If you want, you can like leave the Steam area and like travel and use it like a real computer. But, and I mean, you can use it for emulators and stuff like that, and that's great, right? But the reality is, I don't want to do any of that. I want it to be a console. I want it to have, I want it to be a bit of a walled garden. Like, there's never been a point in time when I looked at my PlayStation 5 and said, well, that's a behemoth. I want to make sure that fucking thing, which is currently a very expensive paperweight, I want that to be a computer. Like, I find that to be strange. It's a strange interest to have. Because you don't game, I am willing to bet that I game more than you, as a matter of fact. I'm back on Final Fantasy VII Remaster. I also downloaded all the other Yakuza games as well. I mean, in the past week, I played... In the past 2 weeks, I played more than 38 hours, more than 40 hours of Yakuza. And that's on top of, like, the proof. I mean, I showed it to you already. I just don't game on stream. It's also nice to be able to boot up a game and have the settings already tailored to the Steam Deck. Yes. Yes. That part is incredible. It's also fast. I mean, obviously, the Steam Deck has a lot still. The Steam Deck has a lot of issues still. Sorry, I had to text March. The Steam Deck has a lot of issues. What do I mean by that? Okay? It's heavy. It's bulky. It's big. It's good for my hands, but I assume it's not good for the average user. I actually love how big it is. It's like one of the few times where I have held a handheld and thought, my hands don't hurt at all. Definitely not for the average user, though, considering that my hands are almost as big as a fucking keyboard. You know what I mean? Like, they're as big as basically, I mean, look, my hands are as big as, like, literally a smaller keyboard, not the... Oops, plugged it out. You know what? Why don't I just plug it out and show you? Look at this. So the Steam Deck is awesome. But it's probably not good for the average person with their average grippers. What's happening? I'm not stalling. I'm going to finish this
fully
video.
bolted to it. And that comes with problems. And there's some things that ASUS is doing where that they're trying to...
It's so funny because there's such a wide contingency, like a loud contingency of chatters that are like, dude, why are you stalling gaming? Why are you stalling gaming? And then the moment that I fucking hit gaming, like literally 10K people leave. Okay, just calm down. I want to make my own content. Can I make my own content in the way that I want to, at the speed that I want to? If I don't want to fucking play a game, I'm not going to play a game. You know what I mean? I said I downloaded Bramble. Calm down. Okay, I know they're different people, but like there's plenty who are enjoying it right now.
Where they're attempting to mitigate that, but it's a mitigation. Unless Microsoft gets involved, it's not going to be a perfect experience. Now, on the Steam Deck, I'm not saying it's perfect either, but what it is it's seamless. For the games that it does play, I shouldn't say seamless, it's less seamy. For the games that it does play, you can expect that there's been some kind of validation process that has taken place. Someone looked at it at some point.
Do you think Valve would have been interested in packaging SteamOS with the Ally?
I don't know about the Ally, but my understanding is that they, at some point, talked to at least some of the competing handheld console makers, and they've certainly taken a fairly open approach to the operating system. It's not like, what's it called? It's escaping me now. But there's a third-party sort of basically SteamOS, SteamOS alternative.
The ROG is, as long as you can make like your own Steam operating system, like the Steam OS style, it will be fine. It will be great, as a matter of fact. As long as it's like seamlessly integrates Steam into it, which will be great for Valve in general, because like then they get to dominate. They get to monopolize the motherfucking handheld console space. I know it has Windows. No, listen. I know it has Windows, but as long as it has Steam in it and you can like basically run Steam big picture mode, like make it so that it's identical to the Steam Deck in the sense that like Steam Deck has the Linux operating system if you want to use that, but you don't ever use it because you're just using the Steam Deck big picture mode for the most part. If they do that exact same thing, for this, I mean, I'll buy it. I'll definitely try it because I'm a big handheld gaming fan. It's, you know, Game Boy was huge for me, Game Boy Advance, all this shit. Like I grew up playing a lot of games like that. I grew up imagining what the world would look like if the PSP had two, not one, but two fucking joysticks on it. I'm old. If they had two analog joysticks, I mean, that would have been fucking insane. That's called the Vita. No, don't talk to me about the Vita. That was far too late. The PSP was revolutionary, except they made a bet on, you know, the UMD, which was stupid as fuck. And at the time, they didn't have enough memory. The internet wasn't there. Internet downloading wasn't there enough. Like it was too ahead of the game. Unfortunately, Sony was too good. That's literally what happened. And even with all this dog shit, like the hardware issues, the fact that it had only one joystick, which was fucking psychotic. Like, if I had a time machine, people are like, oh, I'd go back and, I don't know, fucking kill baby Hitler or whatever. If I had a time machine, I'd go back to the Sony executives and say, hold on. What are you doing? You're gonna fucking make it so that every fucking port from your own consoles are not gonna work on this other handheld console that you're selling? Are you stupid? Don't do that. Don't do that. You should be able to port everything. Just put the second joystick on there. You fucking idiot. That's what I would do. Do you think if Sony made a new PSP today, it would be a contender for best handheld? That's actually a really good question. Now, we have software storage space. The technology is incredible. Now we have battery technology that is also incredible in comparison to when the PSP came out. If Sony makes a handheld, if Sony made a fucking handheld, dude, if Sony made a fucking handheld that had really good battery life, really good storage, and also on top of that, a capacity to play older games as well on it, I don't know. It still loses the Switch. No, you know what? Actually, I don't know. Maybe you're not wrong, because honestly, why don't I ever play PlayStation 5? Why don't I ever play it? Because a lot of the games I play, I would rather play on the Steam Deck because it's mobile, but it also is literally able to play everything. You know what I mean? It's able to play PC titles. It's able to play even, you know, titles that are made available for the PC, whereas the PS5 doesn't have any, like, unique, new, interesting fucking games. Switch is carried by its library, which the PSP would not. Let's say if there was a new PSP. The actual thing that killed both the Vita and the PSP in the US was that they both used proprietary storage sticks. You couldn't put a fucking SD card or a micro SD. If you could pop a micro SD in that motherfucker, it would whip. Rumor is Sony's making a handheld, but it's a cloud PS5 thing. Oh no, that's so dumb. They're so fucking stupid. No. Cloud gaming is dog shit. Don't do that. Oh my God, Google literally failed. What a fucking stupid thing. People would buy it no matter what, Sony. You're wrong. No, they wouldn't. What are you talking about? Cloud gaming is a pointless concept when half your customers have bad internet. Agreed. Yeah, it's so bad, dude. It's so bad. America, 90% of Americans don't have internet that can support cloud gaming in their home. And for those who are saying Sony should focus on you know, their console games instead of like a handheld could revitalize its old library. A handheld that can play like older games could literally revitalize its old its library. It could make it like, if they also, like, I don't know, work with a developer, like work with a big fucking studio or in-house to like remaster all their original classics, all like Metal Gear Solid in its entirety, even though it's not a Sony classic. Obviously it's Konami, and that IP is like half owned by Konami and half owned by Kojima. So obviously that would never happen. And I'm just huffing on fucking copium. I don't think that could actually happen. I don't know. Maybe it could. But like, imagine if they did like fucking crazy remasters and then pumped it into a handheld console. That shit was slap. Metal Gear Solid handheld would be absolutely insane. It's not that insane. I played it on the PSP. My greatest gaming achievement of all time is that you can defeat Psychic Mantis without actually changing the controller. For the record, you literally can. And I did it on the PSP because the PSP has no way to change the controller. Psychic Mantis? Psycho Mantis? Whatever. Fucking don't remember. Psychic Mantis, not a real fan. Bro, this is like a 700-year-old game at this point. Give me a goddamn break. Anyway, let's finish this video.
Ugh. I can't. Hollow ISO. That's the one. And it's not like Valve is clamping down on that or anything like that. They've also, I mean, they committed at some point. I don't know if they've actually talked about it lately, but they said they were going to release SteamOS as just a standalone operating system at some point. So at that point, nothing would prevent a third-party handheld maker from installing it and shipping it. Like, it's free, right?
Yeah.
But what I also heard anecdotally is that there are certain things that Valve is keeping for themselves, like the profiles that they've created where they've tuned the game to run well on the Steam Deck hardware.
Ooh.
Anyway, that price. Excited.
Okay, there you go. Cooked. Won't work. God, why am I such a fucking loyalist? RIP Steam Deck. Is this the Asus ROG Ally, a Steam Deck killer? Dude, everyone loves these like crazy fucking clickbaity ass like, this is the Steam Deck killer, dude. What the fuck? Wait, I want to see the physical aspects of this though. Oh, in comparison to a Steam
actually
Deck
use these handheld devices, finding that they don't want them to be too big, they also don't want them to be too small, and they want them to be genuinely comfortable to hold. Now, when you first pick up the ROG Ally, it isn't very comfortable, to be perfectly honest with you. I have a hard time reaching the shoulder buttons, and these bottom corners here just like kind of dig into my hand.
Wait, they don't even have touchpads? Oh my God, Steam Deck literally has like around, I think like 4 at least that I can think of off the top of my head, 6 buttons that I don't even use, okay? 2 trackpads and 4 buttons in the back that you don't even fucking use. It's like, it's just there. You know what I mean?
But then watch this.
So why do you need them, Lamau? I mean, I don't know. Hopefully one day.
And it's perfect. These little contours here at the bottom right and left are designed for the device to be held at an angle with the screen actually facing your face, and in many cases resting, either on the desk in front of you or on your lap. In terms of buttons, it's a pretty bog standard Xbox layout. We've got our start and select here and here, or whatever microphone.
Touchpads are significantly better. First of all, it's literally like the screen is touchable too on the Steam Deck. I don't know how it is on this one, but touchpads are also pretty good for when you want to utilize it like a mouse.
Microsoft calls those buttons.
Better than a fucking joystick, that's for sure.
I actually don't know what these other buttons do. Oh, I guess we're gonna find. Oh, okay. So that switches between Windows and your game. Quick switcher.
Touch screen.
And...
Sorry, yeah.
Oh, that brings up their command center. Ooh, I really like this quick switcher between mouse mode. Is this to make it like keyboard jointed mouse or whatever?
Yes.
Cool. Okay. Quick toggle between 60 and 120 hertz refresh rate. Oh man, I have been waiting for someone to do 120 hertz. I know it's worse for battery life, okay? I know it's more expensive, but there are a lot of games, particularly emulated games, enthusiast, that you totally could run at 120 frames per second and would totally run on this hardware, especially this hardware. I am loving these RGB joysticks. In terms of buttons, the good thing about the joysticks is they're full size, so you'll get the same level of control that you would get with a Steam Deck. The bad news is you'll get the same level of control as you will with the Steam Deck. They're not Hall effect, which means that even though you can calibrate the 0 point, so you shouldn't suffer from drift, knock on wood, you can't fully eliminate dead zones, and they might not have the same level of durability. D-pad feels solidly okay. It's far from the best I've felt, but it's not nearly the worst. And while I'm not a huge fan of long travel ABXY buttons, these aren't bad. I mean, I'd say they're about like you'd get on like an Xbox controller. Though it should be noted that this is a prototype device, and I would love for that to improve. Asus is here supervising. Now that I'm in position, the shoulder and trigger buttons are—
Dude, that's crazy that they're fucking breathing down your goddamn neck while you're doing while you're looking at their proprietary new device, like
are very easy to access.
I'd be sweating.
These seem like analog triggers, though they haven't confirmed that for me yet. And like the Steam Deck, and unlike many other competing Windows handhelds on the market, they've got additional buttons on the back of the device, though not as many as the Steam Deck. This looks flippin' awesome. I'm not allowed to show you guys FPS, but Asus says that at 15 watts, they are up to 50% faster than the Steam Deck, and at 35 watts, they are double the performance. At 7 inches, 1080p looks crazy sharp. Okay, if this is running variable refresh rate, it makes sense that it was so hard for me to nail down what FPS it's running at, because if it dips below the panel's variable refresh rate range, then it'll really start to chug, and as long as it's within that range, it's gonna look shockingly smooth. So if I had to guess, I'd say we're seeing anywhere from 45 FPS down to it's probably dipping to
there's a gun to his head. Like, stop speculating on the FPS.
About 20, and that's where I'm really seeing those stutters. No matter how you slice it though, this is incredibly impressive.
Stop speculating on the
FPS. I am loving this display. Okay, not only does it run at a higher resolution than the Steam Deck, it also hits a peak of 500 nits, which is more than, I think that's higher than any of the handhelds we've tested recently. And it's rated at just 7 milliseconds for the pixel response times. Now, that doesn't sound that impressive.
Okay, I don't care about the display that much. I do care about, okay, fan noise is quieter.
15 watts, you guys are rating this at 20 decibels?
No, bro, no coronation coverage. Like, see, this is what I mean. There's like motherfuckers for everything out here, okay? Like, oh, Hasan, why are you looking at, okay, what I care about is battery life. That's what I care about. And I care about competition.
Had several other devices hit the market looking to scratch that next-gen itch that some of the more enthusiast-level handheld gamers are looking for. And truthfully, I am one of them, because as much as I love the Steam Deck, I don't daily drive it. This is partly because of the loud fan, but the size, the more limited game compatibility, and the performance
I daily drive it. Yeah, I'm Bill Dipperly.
Are also factors. Now, obviously, the price of the Steam Deck is a major selling point, all other things being equal. But all other things are not equal anymore. We won't know the exact price of this device until it shows up on Best Buy shelves.
Daily driving means using it as your main PC. Wait, what? No, you can't. No, it's a console. Daily driver would be like, what's your preferred console? What the fuck are you talking about, dude? It's my main gaming device. It has become my main gaming device, 100%. It's not the PlayStation 5. It's not the Switch. I mean, that is about to change, obviously, with the new Zelda game coming out, but
and around the world in the next few months. But being this much faster, all of a sudden it could make sense. And if you were hoping that Valve would simply refresh the Steam Deck to match the Ally's performance, but at their existing price, think again. Recently, Valve has gone on the record stating that while they are working on the Steam Deck 2, it's not coming for a long time, which in Valve time is, I don't know, let's put it this way. We just got Counter-Strike 2. Valve's custom SoC strategy then was a big advantage for them at launch, but it's starting to look like a liability. Much like the cycle we see with the traditional console players, where they launch a new console.
Is Steam Deck actually, dude, this is so funny. I never thought about this, but Steam Deck might be too bulky for the average gamer. It's so perfect for me. Like, size-wise, I think that's why I love it too much. I love it so much. Size-wise, it is so big. It's so perfect. It's like one of the first times that I've ever like held a fucking console in my hands, like a handheld console, and like didn't have to do the fucking death grip like this.
It's absolutely killer compared to a custom PC, and then it becomes long in the tooth, and a custom PC starts to look like the obvious choice until they refresh and so on and so forth. So while the Steam Deck did a great job of getting people back into handheld gaming, especially playing PC games, and the low barrier to entry is amazing at $400, some of you have more money that you'd like to spend, and this is starting to look like it could offer enough to justify whatever that higher price is. There's gonna be a lot more for us to cover in the full review. The faster UHS 2 microSD slot, for example. Does it affect loading times? I don't know. We might be able to objectively measure device speakers in our lab by then. How does it compare to the competition? And how does all of this performance translate to power savings? I mean, what if Steam Deck performance is lots, but I'd rather just run it sub 15 watts to get an extra hour or two of battery? You're gonna have to stay tuned to find out. And stay tuned for this message from our sponsor.
Do you like the old Xbox controllers too? I've never actually used the Xbox. I've never had an Xbox, so I don't know. Okay. Yeah, my guests are here. And yes, I did it again. I downloaded Bramble at least. It's a good step in the right direction for gaming, but a bad step for gaming today, because I'm not going to be able to game today because I stalled, because I have my guests here and we are going to start the podcast. So, what's up?